So just through Jip in the house. What's up? Anyway, this is part 2 of marriage and things to think about. I made a couple other videos where I was rambling too much. So erase anything, but it's gonna be the last part to try to be as simple as I can. Anyway, when you get married, and before you get married, before you get in a relationship, first of all, let me say about relationships. I believe that it's very important. Matter of fact, it is very pertinent that men under 22 should not engage in sexual activities at all, because it is detrimental to your mental health. Okay, and basically what I mean is you just fall in love and you fighting over these girls and things like that for no reason, because they're still young, you're still young, and the decisions that you make due to relationships can and will affect your life. And there are too many black men and too many men period who are not here now because of love, and that they should never have been engaged in the first place because they had better things to do, like studying and stuff like that. Okay, and I believe that you should study until you're 21, 22, till you graduate at least. Okay, and then look for a wife. Okay, and just by doing that, there'll be a lot of stuff that you don't have to deal with, and there are a lot of stuff that you want. Sorry for the noise. Anyway, there are a lot of stuff. Hey, you two, be nice. Okay? Tuggy, give it to Harika. Give her her toy. Okay? Tuggy, come and pick it up right now. Now. Real family drama. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, basically don't do it. Okay, study. You're gonna study all your life. You might as well study as much as you can before you get into a relationship. Anyway, when you get into a relationship, like I said in my first video, there are a lot of things that you need to think about. Your the way you look, your wife when she gets older and stuff like that. Even if she's because when you marry women who have lighter skin and stuff like that, they do tend to age before you do. And if you're walking around, with a woman who's 28 and you might be 32, but you look like you're 22 and she looks like she's 40, then that's going to have a problem. But if you love her, it's fine, but you need to know how to deal with those things when you're out in public, and those are things that you can discuss. I've said those in my other videos. Like, one thing is when you're walking down the street, someone look at you like, oh, he must be looking at us because they think I'm younger and you're an old lady and stuff like that. You don't know what they're thinking. They could be thinking of anything, so don't think of anything. If you want to know, just ask. Excuse me, you guys are looking at us. We would like to know why. So you can. No, what?
iPhone 2日で感じやろ?
Yeah.
iPhone は?
Your phone.
Really?
Here, don't push that, okay? Sorry, real drama. Okay, anyway, those are a lot of things you need to talk about, and because those things will affect you. And the only things that really should affect you in a relationship is you two. It shouldn't be any outside factors or anything like that. Another thing, if you're rich, you should not marry a woman who does not have the skills to accumulate the same amount of money that you're making, and you should help her. The reason I'm saying that is because if they're just living off of your money and they're not really trying to do anything on their own, then you're just going to have a lot of headaches, because basically what it's going to do is going to come a time you're going to go, hey, why do I really want to marry this woman? And the fact is, it's probably just going to be because of sex or some physical attractions that really didn't have anything to do with building a mutual relationship, which marriages are, and stuff like that. If you do find someone that got some skills, help them, develop them, but then understand that when you do help people to reach their potential, is that sometimes they do, or they may want to move on. That means maybe divorce you and go do some other stuff, because now they've been empowered and now they have a mission that they need to complete and stuff like that. And you might be sad, but so But it's just the way it goes. So those are something you need to think about. If anything, you should marry a woman who is already successful as you are, and that's, I know it sounds cruel, just because somebody's rich don't mean they should marry someone poor. It's not that. I'm saying, Turkey, get out of here. Come here. Huh? Okay, well then you cannot go outside, Turkey. Okay, bye. Bye. So I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that you need to realize that people will change, and you shouldn't marry someone to keep them in a certain position. You should marry someone knowing that they're going to grow, and they might even grow bigger than you. They might grow out of you. They might grow whatever, So those are some things you need to consider. There are a whole bunch of things. I mean, it's just really ridiculous, because when you start thinking about all this stuff, then when you start thinking about these extended families and stuff like that, then that stuff kind of makes sense. And what I mean by that is that you might have a village where everybody help raise everyone kids, like penguins and stuff. I guess I don't know. I forget something I saw. Some animal show TV or something like that. But when you start thinking like that, those things do make a lot of sense and stuff like that. If you marry a woman because of her body or her face, you have to really think that it's good and it's okay to marry someone because they got What, Shelby? Don't touch yours, Shelby. Okay, then how can I? Why are you crying? Huggy, what's in between your legs? What are you sitting on? Nani swatted no. Nani kore. Kore nani, Huggy? Tate. Tate. Okay. Joby stand, sugi go. Feel the drama. Okay, so when you get married and stuff, in relationships, those are the same things. Basically, I have a video where I said, walk up to a woman. It's real simple. Walk up to a woman and say, hey, this is what I got. What do you got to bring to the table? I want to be with you. What do you got? And how to please start, Ideo. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And see what they got to bring to the table, and then you have to talk. Well, if you get a career, if they got this money, and they earn this money, how they gonna react and stuff like that. And you really need to talk about that, and it's good to do that. But another thing too, when you go to other countries, because there are a lot of people who got a lot of skills, a lot of people who went to, like a lot of these girls like in Japan, they got bachelor's degrees and stuff. They got a lot of degrees out here. These women out here are smart, but if most of them, even if they did get rich, they'll stay with you unless an outside influence comes along. But you can go to other countries, and there's other women. It's this one lady, I think she used to clean houses or something. I forgot where she come from, down South America, and clean houses. But she has some sewing skills, and I guess the lady she worked for or something saw one of her dresses that she made for herself or something, and now she's a big designer, and she makes wedding dresses and stuff. I'm not sure if that was in America or in Africa or something like that, but a lot of people have a lot of skills, and those skills can be developed. I mean, because if you want to be a good designer, of course you have to have a design, but then you have someone have to sew that stuff too, and it's not complicated, it's simple, I guess, but then again, simple things. Complex is just a whole bunch of simple things put together, right? And then a whole bunch of simple things, a whole bunch of complex things that were already put together. So when you get married and stuff, or you get in a relationship, you really have to think about those things, because some people, they're going to just want to move on. So it's really difficult, so the best thing to do, is just to study, learn as much as you can, and that's why I say, before you're 22, those are the wonder years, you go to from kindergarten to 12th grade, you don't have to work or anything. If you do, there's a lot of things you can do online to make money and stuff. Write your own books, whatever, publish this stuff online. There's a lot of ways that you can make money and stuff. So you just really have to start thinking, and it can just be something really simple like teaching, kids in the 3rd grade geometry or algebra in such a way where they could just, doing it, because it is possible. Just no one hasn't shared it with the world yet, I guess, or everyone, or if it is out there, people don't know about it. Another thing too that you have to really think about is that one day you're going to get bored in a relationship, and you have to understand why do you get bored in a relationship. And I think it's, I keep doing it, watch y'all. I think it's just, you start to lose sense of life, and you get tired. It's the food, it starts messing with your body, DNA, biological makeup or whatever, You eat food, what happens? You get sick, sleepy, you know what I'm saying? You eat ice cream, you get fat, and you can't run. And, you miss a lot of opportunities, when you're not in shape, and things like that. So those are things that you need to do. But then you also need to understand that whoever you're with is the same. It's just this motivation, and the motivation, better word that I would say, it's just this constant. You have to stay constantly active, constantly pursuing, and looking and have the wisdom to say, hey, I don't know what this is, so let me figure out what this is and stuff like that. And you got to keep going after whoever you marry, the way they look, light-skinned, dark-skinned, long hair, curly hair. A lot of things are going to affect you, and those things are really important. Just as a review, those things are important on how you're going to make a relationship, because if you go out in the street and a lot of people are walking and looking at you, and then you go home and you have to hear your wife say, well, I'm tired of people looking at me because they think I'm older than you, and da-da-da, or these girls looking at you, or these guys looking at you. If you have to go home and have to deal with that kind of relationship, then you don't need to be in a relationship with that kind of a person. Because what goes on outside the house, you never have to ever have to come in the house, and you can separate those things too. But like I said, it's the emotions. We all been trained to work off of our emotions, and that's what I like about Japan, because they really don't go off their emotions. But a lot of people say, well, they get stressed and do all kinds of crazy stuff. Maybe they do, but we don't have that problem. So we can learn how to control things without use our mind, then things would be better for us. And that's about it. I want to make a whole bunch of other videos, basically, just to help people. And again, this video, this challenge just to for people just to go through some serious stuff without having to look at all the other stuff that I do that might not be even worth reading the title, for some people. So, but anyway, think about a lot of things before you get in these relationships. But if I were you, I wouldn't start until 22. And you have to remember this too. No matter what you say, there are a whole bunch of people on this earth now that had things been done right, they wouldn't have been here. And like what I mean by a lot of people who have babies out of wedlock, and stuff like that, or having affairs and have kids, and there are a whole bunch of people like that, And there's this channel, I think it's called Secrets.com or something like that, I forgot. But this guy said she get a lot of letters from people, and basically, they say, a lot of people say, hey, I'm a kid, that was born out of adultery or fornication. I mean, not fornication, but adultery. Or, it's interesting, So our problems can be solved, but just say, I know how to fix some of the stuff. But don't get involved in stuff that is stupid, And if you do, then okay, it's your choice, but life is more productive, and you can be more productive. Alright, I'm out. Peace.